audio from Google. But to an enthusiastic chef.
All right. So you already know we gotta talk about what's going on in our league. So, but before we get into all that, we gotta talk about this patch today, man. Let's give people some time to come on right now, man. We had some big time games played. Home crowd not needed. The Lombardi Trophy so close to the Cardinals can taste it. Playoff powerhouse. The Falcons could not keep Jalen Hurts and the Eagles out the end zone in their playoff battle. Hurts threw 4 touchdowns in Philadelphia, 41-21. I was watching this game, bro. That shit was crazy. They were singing the "Fly, Eagles, Fly" on the road to victory. That crowd be rocking right now. We're gonna do a show on the top crowds in the league as well. Pushing through. The Cardinals now roll Green Bay after besting the Packers 45-42. It's probably the best game I ever watched. On a fast track, Chargers are now battle tested and moving ahead with their Super Bowl campaign, 41-17 over the Dolphins. Another fast track, the Ravens earned the right to be at home this week, and it certainly helped them beat back the Bills. All right, so NFC Championship Classic. The NFC season comes down to meeting between them. They already played breakout alternative jerseys. Can't believe what I just saw. Home field advantage denied. Congrats, Carts. Banfield is in for a crash course learning with these changes. The left outside linebacker, the Packers have said they'll be moving Winfield to free safety. All right, so the guys that's out of the playoffs are allowed to do position moving and all that stuff right now, so that's cool. What's up, Six Deuce? So that's cool as far as the league. But we're gonna get to these notes, man. This is important. Let me get to my group me real fast. Make sure everybody in my league is on deck. All right, today. Here we go. Let's get to it. All right, y'all. Welcome to Real Talk AntHits franchise, Madden franchise gurus. Doing what we do, the franchise boys. Madden franchise junkies. Always coming to y'all with that good shit. You heard the league, the best. All these guys around here We got guys around here that think they got a hot league. Your league not hot like mine, I promise you. Alright, so gameplay updates. Look at the patch. So first of all, this Madden 21 patch notes is 1.717. The key highlights in this note patch was franchise updates, development trait regressions, X Factor customization, playoff brackets, career stats, retirement improvement, new features, yard player friend. We don't care about all that. Gameplay updates though was important. So fixed an issue allow offensive users to break out off the handoff and gun flex Y off motion counter. So this is the shit that we didn't get to use this in our league. Nobody benefited from it because you had to use a spread playbook to get it. You know, as when you're trying to customize the playbook, not every play that they allow you to use in MUT, you can use those formations in custom playbook for whatever reason. The game still treats MUT players as they're that's the it factor because they spend all the goddamn money to play this game, and franchise mode doesn't get those things all the time. So that play was going through the YouTube community as something glitchy, so they took it out. Again, we didn't have to deal with this at all in franchise mode, but they definitely took it out. Fixed the issue causing awkward ball warping on some H-back toss plays. And I'm assuming this is what lost 6-2 the playoff game against the Chargers last season when he said his running back fumbled. That might be the thing they talking about.
The super pitchback.
Yeah, the super pitchback, the warp pitch. Yeah, so that sucks, man. That lost that guy the game, man. And actually, that play lost him the game and put the Chargers on his run that he's on right now. Alright, so fixed all distant related abilities to take pass leading into account as a triggering condition. Right, so what happens is, you know how many times we done threw passes and you lead your receiver and they dummy out and you can't control them at all? I lost to the Bills last year in a wild card game with 4 overthrown touchdowns, wide open, overthrown, and your receiver dummy out. You click on and they unresponsive. Well, they fixed that. Route abilities were not given catching benefits due to the pass leading of the quarterback. So, for example, a receiver with short out elite would not receive any benefits if the receiver was inside the numbers. So when the pass started, even if the pass lead caused the receiver to catch the ball short, outside of the numbers, anytime a ball is led to the area on the field that the ability is designated for, the receiver will get an ability catch, all the ability catch benefits. So bottom line, all your traits will trigger and throwing the ball now. They fixed that. So they fixed the playbook issue in a specific jet sweep PA play, causing a blocker to miss a Russian defender. So it looks like the jet sweeps will be a little bit more OP now because they blocking now. Fixed the issue where motioning an outside receiver will cause inappropriate defender coverage, swapping versus specific coverages. I love this. I've lost plays, gave up touchdowns, frustrated me like hell. Guy motions their outside receiver and your whole fucking defense dummies out. So that's fixed. Supposedly we'll see as we play. Added functionality for user controlled defenders to successfully hit stick the ball carrier immediately following a block shed. That sounds good. You get off the block shed and then you can still hit stick and make a play. Tuning to reduce reaction time penalty for linebackers with the linebacker style trait set to coverage. This tuning should make coverage linebackers react quicker and reading running plays and moving towards their run fits. That's good too. Playbook updates, blocking improvements. Made several adjustments to improve blocking on plays like inside zone, split, RPO, read, wide receiver screens, play action, jet sweep, and RPO peak. So they're letting you know that the RPO, the jet sweep game is getting better. I thought it already was OP, but it's getting even better. So here we go with that. We should see how that goes as you play. Improve left tackle blocking on pass plays in certain formations to address an issue where the blocker would miss an edge pass rusher. Oh my God, I dealt with this all the time. In fact, I cut the best left tackle in the game. I traded him to the Chargers, and we about to face him tonight in the AFC Championship game because of this. Because every time I turn around, I was getting sacked, and I couldn't understand how a top 5 offensive tackle can't block anybody. All right, so update out routes and compression formations and tight end routes and RPO YP seek. So that's one of those plays that tight end John They fixed that, so the release are cleaner and the routes are more effective. All right, so running outs out of tight formations, they get more crispy. I get this too. I saw this. You know, you running outs out of them tight slot, tight shotgun formations, and the out looked really like shaky. It wasn't like effective at all. So they fixed that, which is cool. Addressed the issue where the halfback and tight end would sometimes run into each other on plays like zone split lead, alert X smoke, RPO, alert jailbreak screens, hit a yo like that. Alignment improvements. Strong safeties in cover three is in better position to play outside runs versus wing formation. That's good. Adjust wide receiver splits and spread formations to improve spacing and timing. That's even good too. Update the halfback's run hole on traps plays will give the halfback more space away from the defensive lineman who's being trapped. That's hot. All right, so here's where we are. This is what we like. Franchise updates. All right, so this is one of the first updates that they promised us when the game first came out. This is all because of y'all hashtag franchise, fix franchise mode guys. That made a big fuss about franchise mode, and we had a lot of MUT players and YouTubers that didn't even care about franchise that definitely supported this. So we finally getting them to pay attention to the real gamers, not these arcade playing guys. The real gamers, the guys that really play this game like real NFL. You heard? All right, so the first set of franchise updates announced post-launch have arrived. Check out the Madden 21 Gridiron notes for more info on this. All right, so my favorite right here is development trait regression. Star, superstar, and superstar X factors will now have desired counts that are treated as the correct amount of each development trait in your franchise. Eligible players will be regressed in priority order until the target is met. These targets can be changed via commissioner. So let's take a look at it. So the commissioners have control of how many X Factor, superstar abilities, and star abilities are in their league right now. So all right, so when we start our real draft league after the when we get to the what is it, combine. When we get to the combine and get ready for real draft, we'll be able to take this in full effect. But right now, let's take a look at it. Here we go. So now we got a development trait management section and settings now. So breakout scenarios, of course, we want those on. When this setting is on, the user will receive breakout player scenarios that can improve a player's development trait. When off, of course, they won't be on for all users in the league. All right, so development trait regression. This is what we love. So, our league, especially with me as a commissioner, I hand out gifts and then we allow people to get better. So, and we make our draft classes as well. So, in the process of that, you get superstars, stars go to superstars real fast in this league. Even though our XP is not super high, but it works. Let me know when I can. All right, hold on. So when this setting is on, players will have their development trait evaluated for regression every offseason. So the game is going to do it for us. I was already 10 steps ahead of Madden with this last year. I was saying coming into 21, we would do it ourselves, where if your guy is not playing at a high level, you shouldn't have a backup D tackle or backup defensive end, backup running back sitting on superstar, and these guys they're not productive at all. They don't need to be on it, right? So the game is going to do that for us. If the settings is off, of course, the players will keep their highest earned trait. All right, so that's that. Now, desired X Factor development traits, 50 right now. So right now in my league, 50 of them in your league, 75 superstars, 400 stars. We can control that. So you only can use 6 X Factors on your team anyway. So again, going in a real draft, this will be really into place for us. So right now, once you get to that 50 count, the game is going to be dropping players that's not being used. Once you get to 75 superstars, as a league, the game will start dropping players that doesn't meet the goals to be able to stay at that level, right? Same thing with star development traits. All right, so the game is helping us control how many X Factor superstars, and this is hot because it challenges, it makes our league the best right now again because we already was 10 steps ahead of everybody with this type of shit. And what it does is for those guys that once they start looking at people's teams after, so we are in season 5 right now. So a lot of you guys are just finishing up or just in the middle of your second season. We already in season 5 right now. We rock over there. All right. So with that being said, when you get to that season 5, man, teams are built at this point. They start building. I thought we did a really good job with building our rookie classes coming out. where it wasn't super OP to the point where by year two everybody had 99 players all over the field. That just didn't happen this time around. You can still look at rosters. Yeah, you're gonna see some built teams, completely built, and you can see holes on them same teams that's completely built, where you see holes running around, and that's part of football. You don't want to see everybody with superstar and X factors all over the field, on everybody's team. Some teams build that way, some teams develop their players that way, and it all comes down to how you GM your team. Now, with that being said, every team in season 5 that we grade going to season 5, and every team still has holes on them, where you're just not looking at a complete 99 player at every position. And I thought we did a good job with that. Now, with that being said, that's also going to check and lock down these guys that's not playing at a high level. So, for example, I'm the Ravens. I got superstars everywhere. Some of these guys might not be used, and they might not meet their goals. So those same superstars are going to drop, and that's only right. They're not being used. They shouldn't be superstars or X factor. Simple as that. All right, now with that being said, let's keep talking. Let's keep going on what they did. Honestly, I'm proud of EA for today. All right, so here we go. We heard that correct. Changes via commissioner. All right, so X Factor customization. We brought our functionality from player mode that allows the players to alter the superstars and superstar X Factor abilities on their players inside of a core franchise as both a coach and an owner. Again, I was a year ahead of EA and myself, and I'm bragging because I'm always a year ahead of them. And we got guys that left the league that take our way of how we move, and they build in their leagues the same way. And eventually, the EA catches up to the thought process of us. When we were deciding to bring in a real college players, EA wasn't doing that. Now they give you draft classes. You can go pick up the 21 and 22 draft class right now. Somebody done edited it and downloaded it. You could download their rosters. Well, we was doing that in 17, 18 when they didn't have that. We was doing that already. So again, so all these things are coming into play now. So last year the big thing was, well, I got a breakout message on my player, and he got his X factor, he got a superstar ability, but I don't like the abilities. Like, this shit crazy. This is my team. I should better control that. So what we did was, as commissioners, we allowed everybody to be able to get their traits changed. So we had a way to doing it, which was we just kept editing the player until we got close to what they wanted or got them what they wanted. And we kept track of it. Now that shows a lot of transactions, a lot of edits on players, but we broadcast and let you know what we doing. So there wasn't no problems in our league of doing this. All right. So I don't know how many other leagues were doing that, but a lot of guys in my league playing other leagues, they wasn't allowing you to do that. You just got stuck with whatever the player got. Well, EA called up to that and said, all right, well, this is one of the big complaints, so let's go ahead and let y'all do that. So now everybody in the league that has a team, whether you're a coach or owner, you have the access to be able to change your abilities, your traits, and your superstar and X factor abilities. So I thought this was going to be OP. At first I thought only the commissioner should be able to do this, but then I see it and I'm like, you know what? It's not really that OP. They did a hell of a job with this. So let me give y'all an example. Let's go to it. EA did a hell of a job the way they gave this to us. All right, so here we go. So we look at my team, and let's go look at the football team. Let's start here. Let's look at quarterback. All right, so his quarterback is 93 overall. So overall still matter. All right, I'll show y'all how. So Donovan Griffin III. All right, so he's the X factor. So here we go. So you go look at his abilities right now. Bazooka is what he has. Now, with that being said, as a quarterback, he can click X on this, and here's all the abilities that he can make his quarterback be by his choice, what he want to build his quarterback to be. So if he wanted to be a gambler, high, low, dead eye, he can be a pro read guy, blitz radar, he can be a run and gun type guy, first one free for a runner, freight train for a runner, he could be brick wall, Omaha, and Truz, right? So he decided he wanted bazooka, so that's what he got there. Now, understand what I mean when I yell out tiers. So when we in the league and y'all in my group chat and I'm screaming tiers, and you guys wanted certain stuff and I couldn't get it for you and y'all didn't understand why, it's because it matched up to your archetype and tiers. You want this? Blow on that shit. That shit tastes good. All right, so tier 1. The threshold for this, I think it was like anywhere from like 75 to 80. I think the threshold was. So each tier comes with an overall. So I think first tier was like 75, 80. This was like 80, 85. All I know is when you get to tier 5, this is a 90 overall trait. So if the fact that he's 93, this box is unlocked. So each box unlocked when your overall got to the appropriate overall that was deemed for these tiers. So on a quarterback, you get 5 tiers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I know some leagues started after the first when the game first came out. Some leagues started after the last update patch. I'm not sure at certain positions. I know in our league we only get 2 boxes for every position outside of quarterback. Is that the same way in your league, Hitter? Y'all started after the last update, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's the same.
So like, it's not a running back that got three boxes, right?
No,
All
no.
right, cool. So all right, so outside of quarterback, every other position only gets 2 boxes open, right? 2 tiers. So in tier one, for any archetype, whether it's field general, scrambler, uh, what is it? Field general, scrambler, strong arm, and what was the other one? Hitter. Field general, scrambler, strong arm, and improviser are the 4 archetypes that you can get on a quarterback, right? So when you open tier one, you hit X. All right, they're the abilities. These are the only 2 abilities for tier one. So this is why it's hot. So you can't just make you a stud quarterback with anything you want. So you can't go out there and make your quarterback with escape artist, protected, hot route master. You can't give them anything they want because each box has its selected things you can do. So for tier two, as you can see, here are the things that are available. They got, again, each archetype has some type of ability in there, right? So here you go, you're seeing it. You got spin cycle for runners, bulldozers for runners. You got jukebox for runners. You got tight out passer, anchor extended for rollout quarterbacks, pocket dead eye, closer, and roaming dead eye. That's for tier two, right? So again, hitter use inside dead eye for his first tier. Use conductor for his second tier. For his third tier, he looked at it and want to know look dead eye. That's fine. So then here's the things you could have had. You could have had gutsy scrambler, red zone threat, dead eye. You could have had fearless. You could have pass lead, clutch, homer, and set feet lead. So for all you guys out there that think you're gonna get escape artist and hot route master together, you're not. Unless you're playing with a quarterback that started off in the league that already had escape artists. That quarterback will still be able to open his last 3 boxes. Most quarterbacks that came in the league, Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, there's a few other out there I'm probably not naming that came out with escape artists. Russell Wilson, their escape artist box is probably 1 or 2, right? So with that being said, now tier 3, 4, and 5 you can unlock to whatever you want. So for example, he got fast break here. So at tier 4, you will be able to get set sideline dead eye, safety valve, long range dead eye, agile extender, gunslinger, or comeback guy, right? And then in tier 5, you only can get hot route master and all that shit here. So he picked escape artist. So here's your tier 5 things: loft and dead eye, protected, hot route master, threat detector, and dash and dead eye. So you didn't see none of these and none of the other ones, right? At all. So you can't get them. So anybody that wants escape artists and hot route masters, you won't better get. But you can, like for example, if I go to Lamar Jackson and Lamar's abilities, he already had escape artist, fast break, and juke move, but I was able to change tier 3 and tier 5. So because his escape artist was already his first box, he comes with that. I was able to put him as a hot route master for box 5, for tier 5. So I got Gutsy Scrambler and Hot Route Master on Lamar. All right. So if your guy came with escape artists already, you can still get these type of things. If not, you got to choose between if you want escape artists or Hot Route Master or protected. You know what I'm saying? All right. So that's that. Then you can go to running backs. It's the same thing with these abilities. You can go to running back, look at abilities, and you can go what you want as your X factor. So X factor, you can be max security, wrecking ball. You can be safe satellite, trust, ankle breaker, freight train. Your choice, right? Then here's your choice in tier 1. They got designated things for tier 1. So you can get spin cycle, bulldozer, running back apprentice, short and elite, second win, grab and go, tank, and return man. So it's your choice to pick what you want on your guy. You know what I'm saying? So, and in the second tier, all the things are available: grab and go, arm bar, short out elite, backfield mismatch, matchup nightmare, reach for it, energizer, evasive, playmaker, and jukebox. So it's your choice. You can do all these things. So again, I thought we were going to have a problem. So my problem will come with this. When you get to D linemen and linebackers, to me, would be an issue for guys getting the same thing on each player and shit like that. Like, I think that's stupid. I think we should allow you up to two players in that position to be able to have the same thing. I'll give you an example. You go to my guys. I got two Avalanche guys on my team at middle linebacker, right? If I put the third one on there, I'm doing too much, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I would not be able to do certain things like this. Like, now you can't control this because one thing about the ability changing that doesn't show up as an edit. So we're not. We thought we was going to better get a handle on this, but we're not. So at the end of the day, you guys are going to better do what the fuck you want because I can say don't. I could say don't do this, don't do that. But if we catch it, I mean, don't get it twisted. I got a guy in my league that will look at everything. So don't get it fucked up. Irish Tillman catch you out there, you're in a situation. So again, I don't have all my linebackers on the same shit when it comes down to their superstar abilities, and I think that's where it becomes important. At all right, so as you can see, I'm showing different things on my guys. You know what I mean? So you see a guy with two deflators, right? But then you won't see the third guy with that, like, you know, you're not gonna see it. So you got, you know what I mean, certain shit. So ability change though does pop up in as an edit. I didn't see it as an edit. Let's go check.
No, it don't. It doesn't.
I don't know what he talking about. I ain't seen it as
doesn't.
edit. You seen it come pop up as edit?
It doesn't.
Where we're at? Let's see if we can find it. I don't see it. These the edits I'm giving out because it's our gift right now, so I don't see it. Hold up. Hold up, though. Let's see something. Let's put it to test. I'm going to go back to edit. I thought it did. All right. Man, I'm not moving off no thoughts. All right. So, again, ability changes is there for you guys to do it. So, now what this means is this. Understand this. If you're not playing anymore, if you're not still playing, we in the playoffs right now. We in the AFC Championship game we're waiting on. If you're not playing, you can do your edits. Remember, we allowing everybody to move position change in and, you know, get your abilities and all that shit you want. You can do all that up to week 2 of regular season going into next year. If you're still playing, you better not be position moving nobody, especially if you're in the playoffs. You shouldn't be doing all that shit. And Mike's watching it, so if you done it and you did it, you definitely get in trouble for it. So you guys can do all that shit now. Y'all want an outside linebacker to go to middle linebacker, whatever y'all changes y'all need to do, y'all got the access to do it now. All the way up until week 2 of the regular season when we start into next season. So that's that. So again, Madden came out with these ability changes where I thought was awesome. So they did a good job there. All right, so also what's new on here is playoff brackets. Starting week 13 of the regular season, there will be a thing to do item that takes you to the current playoff picture. If the season ended that week, including the seeding for each team that would be in the playoffs, once wild card week begins, the playoff brackets will also have the scores of all games that have been played and the box score available by clicking on a matchup. There will also be a way to access this bracket through the schedule button with a new title labeled playoff picture. All right, so let's take a look at that. We'll go to schedule. So now we got playoff picture now. So you go to the playoff picture, and here we go. So you saw a wild card week in the NFC, divisional week, championship week. Same thing over here, a wild card week. So this is hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll get into it. And in the AFC, you got 1 versus 2 that made it. And in the AFC, you got 4 versus 2 that made it to the championship game, with 4 moving on. 30-20 victory. Cardinals over the Eagles. They'll be moving on to the Super Bowl as soon as this game is played. So we got the number 1 Ravens versus the number 2 Chargers in the AFC. So the 1 and 2 seed in the AFC are matched up for the championship game. But this is hot now. This is something that should have always been there. Again, they don't give a shit about franchise mode, so we get all these things late. But this is hot that this is there now. Now the other one is career stats. One of the top community requests for several years now, we added the week matchup and results of the game to each player's season stat via their player card. We also added what team a player finished their season with on each year of their career stat via player card. So let's check that out. That's hot. Player card. So let's look at stats. All right, so again, he's been in Baltimore. Who's been traded? Let's see. Let's go look at his team that trade. Let's go look at Saquon. All right, yeah, so it's there. So New York Giants, that's hot. All right, so we see it. So my question is, career stats, are they showing playoff games too? We also added what team the player finished on season, which one each year, the career stats via their player cards, retirement improvements, and re-sign players weeks. There will not be a thing to do item that take you directly to the transaction screen. There will now be a things to do item that takes you directly to the transaction screen, sorted to retired players to provide a quicker look into who is riding off into the sunset. That's hot too. So they gave us some shit. So general stability improvements fixed an issue where the user was sent back to the things to do tab when exiting out of a screen, even if they were on a different tab. So that's something they fixed too. Um, Presentation updates added functionality for users to toggle the passing and kicking feedback text on off. All right, so I thought we were going to be getting like this distinguished between playing a regular season game and playing a playoff game. I thought we were going to start seeing, what's that? Cutoff scenes, right? Heather, that's what it is. Cutoff scenes, right?
Yeah, cutscenes.
Cut
Yeah,
scenes. I thought we was going to start being able to see all that in the playoffs and all that. We'll know once me and Chargers play tonight. We'll know what's going on in that if that's there or not. But that was something they promised us too, that we will better distinguish the difference between regular season games. It'll be some more Super Bowl stuff, regular playoff games. We'll better see some things that separates regular games versus playoff games, because as a franchise guy, man, we want the real life experience. We talked about this on my last show. We want the real life experience. We want to better know we in the playoffs. We want that feeling. You want to know that it's a different game between playing week 7 and the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see that tonight when we get into all that shit. With that being said, man, this was a quick one. As far as the new updates. I thought Madden did a good job. So EA on their shit so far. I'm sorry we had to wait this long, but at least they gave us something to show us they're trying to move in the right direction when it come down to us players in franchise mode. So good shit, EA, man. Y'all showed some love today. With that being said, let's get back to what's going on in the league right now. So we had some hell of a playoff run so far, man. And I think this year's playoff is topping last year's. Last year's playoff to me was our best out of the 3 we've been in. But this fourth one, man, this is nuts right here. Third one, fourth, 1, 2, 3, fourth one. This fourth one is nuts, man. We got some shit going on. We had some matchups that was the shit. I'm gonna look at the playoff schedule real fast, and we're gonna go back to what we saw in the wild card round. So again, I showed y'all the brackets, but again, the 34-28, we didn't get to see this game, but that game was a really good game. Football team, 34-18, and to me, the Eagles show that they can play a football game. They ain't have to just splash play you to death. That they can line up and play some good football in there. The Dolphins was hot all year long, 24-10 over the hot New England Patriots. And the Seahawks-Falcons game, 42-17. Seahawks turned their season around, man. They were looking like they were on their way out of here. And one quick draft class and understood some things. This guy turned it around, man. He's been a playoff team from day one, and he's starting to look upwards right now, man. Bills Colts, 45-28. The Colts snuck their way into the playoffs, man, and won their division. And the Bills 45-28. And the Bills been a hot team up and down all year. You never know what Bills team you getting with that coach. He can look like he's one of the top users in the league, and he can also look like he's a drop of soap in a prison yard bathroom. Your Saints Cardinals 35-14. This was a rematch. Saints was excited that they knocked off the mighty Cardinals week 17. So this was one of those, okay, you excited? See you in the playoffs, buddy. And again, young Archie Manning Jr., he's young still. He's developed, but he's young. Got a bunch of young players that he had to rely on, man. I just think the moment got too big for them, 35-14. All right, so the Cardinals decided they blacking out all year. They're coming out in all black. I know if I'm the home team, you ain't coming out in that shit. Y'all keep letting him beast y'all for what uniforms he wearing and shit. Who the fuck you think he is? Postseason divisional round, you had the Bills versus Ravens. This game got ugly at the end. The Bills came screaming back 14 points. They were down 10 points at one point. Missed the field goal to make it a 7-point game with under a minute to go. That's how that went, though. But it was pure dominant by the Ravens defense this game. Flat out. And then again, this game is made for the offensive players right now. So like no lead is ever safe ever. And man, you think you blowing somebody out, the moment you make a mistake and momentum swing, that momentum swing hard. So be careful with that. Cardinals Packers game. I'm going to talk about this game last. We're going to dig deep. But the Dolphins and the Chargers, man, the Chargers show his might right here, man. 41-17. Told him not so fast, my friend. Like, you want to run? We talking about you. Everybody talking about this Dolphins team. We're not trying to hear all that shit right now. We are the defending Super Bowl. Defending AFC champs, and we here. So what's good? 41-17. That's how that went. Eagles. This was a close game. Again, momentum is everything. The Eagles up 27-7 at one point. Falcons came screaming back, made it a 21-24 game or 21-27 game, one of the two. And then the press of trying to win the ball game, that Eagles defense been causing turnovers and shit all year and capitalizing off of it. So it was late scoring. Like, so what if I looked at this game? Let's take a look at it. Box scores. So you had a 7-7 first quarter. Then the Eagles ran off 17 unanswered. Then here we go in the third quarter. The Falcons ran off 14 unanswered, and then the Eagles came right back with a 17-point run there, and that was due to turnovers, pick sixes, and INTs, and big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. So he got the 20-point victory, 41-21 in that game. You go take a look at the box score here with the Baltimore Ravens game. This was a big lead as well. It was 16-0 game at halftime. Then it went to 30-6 in the third quarter, and then out of nowhere, the Buffalo Bills just started answering. Penalties started happening, turnovers started happening, like fumbles, interceptions, penalties. He needed a timeout, and one of my offensive players got hurt for whatever reason, don't know, burnt the timeout for him and gave him the time he needed. That's the type of momentum swing Madden does, so be careful. So they scored 14 points and made this game 30-20. As we keep going in and we look into it, man, we got to get to look at the box scores here too. We're not going to leave them out though. So they was rocking first quarter, then the Chargers ran off 14 unanswered, kicked the field goal in the third quarter, both of them did, and then the Chargers ran off 17 unanswered in the fourth, putting this game away. 14-17. Herbert had a hell of a day today in this game, man. 140.8 QB rating, 323 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He went off. Both running backs had a big day today too. 12 carries out of the Black Mamba, 12 for 179, 2 touchdowns. I'm impressed with that as a rookie, man. I averaged 14.9 yards a carry in a playoff game, big time playoff game at that. Eckler also stepped up, 18 for 107, 2 touchdowns, so he played big for him as well. And that's out of those guys, man. And then you get to the game of the night, bro. 2 of the top tier players in the league right now. Packers is looking to defend their Super Bowl title, back-to-back Super Bowl champions. They wanted a three-peat. They was ready to be called Dynasty. All that good stuff was on the market right now, man. And it's the tell of two halves, and this game was nuts. Before I get into this game, bro, if you didn't watch this game, I think whoever had to broadcast this game need to post this game in the chat. This is an instant classic game. We need to see it again. We really, really need to see this game again. And I think it was so good that I'm gonna break this game down on one of my Hard Knock video shows and give it my voiceover, play by play. It deserves it. That's how good of a game it was, man. By 2 of the top players in the league for sure. Definitely one of the best games I ever watched, bro. Like, it was nuts. And everything you would get in a video game out of this game, man. You had 2 guys dialing some shit up, making plays. You had guys that understood the real life football and how you can bring that into, the video game. You saw video game shit happen, and then you saw Madden control some things that changed the narrative of this game as well. So as we dig into it, man, I gotta give credit to Young T and King Falky for playing a hell of a game, man. Because I'm telling you, there's not a game we've seen that was like this. This shit was off the hook. As you can see, 45-42. So Arizona scored 14 in the first. It was 14-7 from the Packers, and then they had a tie second quarter, 14-14. So that gave a 28-21 situation right there. And one of those points, they was tied up at one point, and then the Cardinals scoop and score right before halftime, giving them a 7-point lead. Packers come right out. They dominate the third quarter and go up 14-7 in that quarter. So as you can see, they was rocking. And then the game came down to a field goal, but that wasn't how the game ended. So hear me out here. Falky, let's talk about the good plays. So we tied 42-42, fourth quarter. Falk got the ball. Packers just scored. You saw momentum switching. I was watching this game, and what I saw the Packers go score a touchdown. I seen the Cardinals come out and throw a bad interception. I said it. The momentum has changed. This guy about to run stretch, and I guarantee that stretch go for 20 yards because of the momentum shift. That stretch went for 70 to the crib. Just because of the momentum. I'm telling you, and then the guy that's running the play is just different. Stick work he's just silly with the stick work. And it's weird because I always felt like I was really good with stick work, especially with running the ball. This game is so different. They took away the way you run in this game. Because they decided for whatever reason, they decided let's make it the running a little change on the joysticks. And that took away. So really using the right analog stick to make your moves and stuff isn't the same anymore. So you have to be able to control your player yourself now without the moves. And the type of runner I am, I like to use the juke moves and all that stuff. I'll make your silly ass miss and your guy slide out of bounds on his helmet. Well, you do that, you just gonna hop, jump, hop, cut. It's just dumb shit. You gotta really learn the buttons, the R analog stick, and understand that, triangle, square, circle, X, all that comes along with it to better really be effective. Or you just be the Packers and learn how to stare your guy up and down the field, and he's great at that. And then he's so great at that when he do use the right analog stick, it's just different. So he's really successful at just using his guys, man. One of the best users I've seen in a long time. Especially with this game. This game, the user is downplayed a lot, especially on defense. If he's zeroing or what you trying to do is over with. Period, over with. And you see, especially the guys he's played multiple times, it's hard to move the ball on him. But again, you playing a guy like King Falk who does what he do, man. He finds some shit, he figure it out, and he make hella of plays at the moments you don't think it's gonna happen. It happens. So here we go, right back to it. So that touchdown happened. Stretch went 70 yards, and it was like, oh shit. So then Falk had to get a grip on it. So it's fourth quarter. They tied. Falk putting the drive together. It comes down to a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12, something like that. And I watched him. I'm watching the game, and I see his play arc up, and I see him hot routing, and I see him putting route concepts together, and he hit the tight end on a route that was just like big time play, big time catch in between two people, catch and fall. You're not hit sticking me to knock this ball out. That's a big time first down because they ate the clock, completely ate the clock to allow him to kick that field goal and to go up as a winner in this game, right? And then comes the kickoff. Now we watched the Packers do this last year. In the Super Bowl, game over, Chargers should be winning the game, up 12, and all of a sudden you kick the ball off to a guy you shouldn't be kicking the goddamn ball to. And 10 seconds later, he's in the end zone. Do your dance on him. Do your dance on him. So every part of my intuition is telling me, fuck, if you kick this ball deep, you better kick that shit out of bounds, or you better kick it out the back of the end zone. Falk was thinking, I'm going to squib kick this shit. I'm going to high kick it and make it go to an up man. And then we just, make the tackle and make him have to score. And he kicks it, high kick, and I think the Packers had to be on point because I don't know how either the kick went a little too far or something, because the guy he wanted to touched the ball and walked that shit right up the middle. About 80 yards. Touchdown. And the Madden gods come out, and you turn around and you're looking on the field, you look up at the top corner and you see a yellow up there and you see flag on the play, and they call holding where he had an opportunity to walk off home run. So when I tell you this game was an instant classic game, you got everything you needed to see in this game happen, and a kick return, and you get a holding call, something you can't control in Madden. You can't control that. You get a holding call on a kick return you took to the crib, bro. Shit sucks. That shit would have me so mad and try, like mad, like oh my god, like I blame anything for that loss, bro, because it's out of your hands. But that's what happened. He had to try to score with seconds left, and it didn't happen for him. He couldn't get in field goal range at all. He burnt all his timeouts trying to stop Falk on that last drive to get the field goal, so he really didn't have no way of stopping the clock. Anytime you made a play in the middle of the field, you should keep everything in the middle. Don't let him catch no outs, deep outs, nothing like that. And that clock runs, game's over. And that's how that game went, bro. But instant classic, man. Honestly, that shit should get posted again. People really should watch this game. This is one of them instant classic games. But that propelled Falk to the NFC Championship game. That we will talk about. I'm not gonna get to it because we're not there yet. They did play that game, Eagles versus Cardinals, but we'll talk about that once the Chargers and the Ravens game is over, which will be played really soon. So that's what Game of Thrones 2 look like right now, fellas. Good luck for turning them, man. Thank EA for giving us this new patch. It's pretty solid. They finally showing some franchise love out there, and that's how that shit go. You heard this? Here's the franchise guru, man. CFM Dig. Holla at me, heard.